So any of you who've ever hung out with me by the fire pit in the evening think you know where this is going. But big apologies to my husband. I am not have any intention of swearing off swearing. Let's dismiss that one right now. In fact, I think it's super on brand with who I am. And if you didn't already know, it also offers pain relief. There's research. Who doesn't need more pain relief in their life right now? Now, if you know me even better, you might think that I'm here to invoke one of my huge math ed heroes, Deborah Ball. She often talks to us about the fact that the lack of a shared, common, understood, and utilized vocabulary impedes work in our profession. But I want to do something way more pedestrian. I want to talk about the words we use every single day. Now, I have dealt with most of these, but fair warning to any of you who don't know me well yet, if you're ever in a room and somebody says low floor, you're going to hear me keep going threshold, threshold. But that's not the architectural reference I want to start with. I want to start with this one. Now, I've been at this a while. I have yet to have a classroom full of Finnish carpenters. I'm not talking about Scandinavians, I'm talking about people who build staircases. Now, I know this is a tough one for us to take on because there's so many publishers who are in on it. But as a community, can we please finally cancel? What do kids think it means? They think it means cross shit out, right? They think it means get rid of anything that is inconvenient. They don't have a clue about multiplicative or additive inverses. And where the heck did this come from? I want kids arguing in my room. I don't want them arguing about whether it's keep, flip, change, keep, change, flip. Doesn't matter. Is it about fractions? Is it about integers? And if we're going to get rid of stuff that really, really doesn't make sense, can we please move on from the helpful mnemonic? Not think. Now, I thought we had moved on from this. My district is all in on bucking up our lessons. Don't get me started. I pronounce it with an F. You might think this is not a problem. You might think, what does she have an issue with this word? Why am I asking for things I already know? I don't need the answer. I need to know what are kids thinking, what are their ideas, what are their strategies, and why in the world do we burden ourselves with this one? We know they enter our rooms, very many of them fearful. Why are we saddling the work that we do with a negative connotation? How dare I, if I want every child to really see themselves as a math person, how dare I trivialize that mathematics is hard, and harder for some than for others? And how dare I, even a step further, equate that with character? I have no right to suggest that a child who has no boots pull themselves up by the bootstraps. Now, if you have a problem with me going there, you're really going to get angry with this next one, because I just can't. I have tried, I don't get it. I don't want my kids to feel like they are dealing with forces of oppression. I want them to feel like they are empowered, like they have agency, like they have ownership, and they are proactive. But it isn't just our words in the classroom, it's our words about our own profession. If we claim to be lifelong learners, how do we characterize knowledge acquisition as theft? And then the absurdity of talking about the things that we acquire as going into a bag of tricks. No other profession denigrates their own wisdom of practice with such vocabulary. Why do we? And it's equally puzzling for me to suggest that anybody should talk about their accumulated math content knowledge as an arsenal. I'm not at war. Well, maybe with those people who want me to buck up my lessons. But I'm not at war with my students, I'm not at war with my discipline, I'm not at war with my profession. Now, everybody in this room knows this for real. Our industry lives on unpaid overtime labor. We're doing it right now. Amen. And this one's even worse, because we get blamed for being overwhelmed by all of the things that are coming at us, and that word has to be expunged right now. We aren't burned out, we're demoralized, and we're demoralized for good reason. Now, this is one that's a work in progress for me. I would be happy to talk with you, but this describes such a tiny, tiny part of the work that I undertake as a professional that I need to fix that. But ultimately, what I need to know is that I control what comes out of my mouth. If it does not elucidate my discipline, if it does not honor my students, if it does not elevate my profession, It's got no place in my vocabulary, and I hope you think it has no place in yours.
Awesome.